name is Sammy. K-pop. Ready? Okay. A little bit of a backstory, right? I have my iPad here. It's decorated for NCT 127 concert. I have a script. I wrote it out in like 10 minutes. It just like straight through. I have very little corrections. So in December of 2022, I got into K-pop. I was very invested. I have been collecting albums from February of 2023 to, I was gifted, where is it? This? Yes, one of the hot versions from one of my coworkers and friends, Lauren, who is also going to NCT 127 with me. But I was gifted that from her. But the last ones I bought were Golden Ages on November 1st. But before that, I haven't really bought any albums since in 2023. And I am clear of 2025 so far. I have not bought any. True. But before 2022, before getting into K-pop, I had definitely like researched and seen K-pop before, but it never caught my interest. But my friends Alba and Yoli, my dear friends Alba and Yoli, would talk about K-pop, and I'm like, finally. And Yoli would have a photo card or a picture of K-pop idols in her phone, and I eventually like questioned about it, and it was Yoongi, it was Suga. The time that I asked, I'm pretty sure. Around that time when I asked, I was also getting like TikToks on my For You page about K-pop, specifically Stray Kids. So Stray Kids and BTS were like my big two starting off with K-pop. And I also asked Alba and Yoli, like in like late December, early January, help me, like teach me K-pop, give me information. And I got hooked on BTS because they knew a lot about BTS, okay? And even before that, I had seen a lot of K-pop, like K-pop memes, songs, even idols, but I didn't know that until now. Like, I've seen so many memes, I've known so many K-pop idols, and I mapped it out, like knowing all these K-pop songs and memes and stuff, I mapped it out to, I could have been into K-pop 2018. I remember researching about BTS in 2018, and I'm like, okay. I didn't get into it, and I don't know why, and I wish I did, because I've missed out on so many concerts, so many connections with like people, and even like knowing how much I like these K-pop idols, and like seeing them and how they make me happy. I could have had that in 2018. So to this point, right, I have been to 10 K-pop concerts, like physically, from 2023 to 2024, and I have more upcoming. I have watched 4 online concerts, including Doyoung, Jaehyun, and NCT Dream, those 4. And then I have watched 2 concerts in theater, which was on August D for D-Day, and then 17 followed to Japan, I believe. With all of those, I have experienced those with my friends. Besides the online concerts I have been alone with. And even for the Jaehyun one, I had to go to work, like, after an hour of it. And so I missed, like, a bunch of it. But yeah, since February of 2023, I've been collecting these and been gifted them. Like, maybe 20 of these albums have been gifted, but most of these I have bought by myself. But in total, there are 234, give or take, maybe 1 or 2, album variations. So like CDs, these versions, these ones, like the smaller ones I counted as well, even the CDs for solos. Where is it? Not solos. Well, yes, solos, but these ones. Like variations, 234. They're here. There's 25 different artists, including like solos and subunits. So like NCTU and NCT 127 different. BTS and RM different. They count as 2. So BTS is 1, RM is 1. NCT 127 is 1, NCT Dream is 1, NCT U is 1. Whatever, right? If I had Junghan's and Wonu's This Man album, it would count differently than 17. And so, as you see, I am in a completely different area than I have been from my home in Florida to the apartment in Oklahoma. I am still in Oklahoma, but I have my own apartment to myself. Anyway, I have my own apartment. I have finally built bookcases and storage, so now I can put away my shit. And I'm one of the main reasons is why I'm trying to get this done is I want them here and like pretty, but I also want my TV in here, and I have a couch to build behind y'all. You are also on carrot version boxes and my BTS Funko Pops, right? I would show you, hold on. Smile for the camera. See? That is what the situation, hold on, I don't even know if you can see this. This is the situation that y'all are looking at. That's the situation that you are. So you're taller. You're not taller than me. Now you're taller than me. Are you taller than me? No, you're not taller than me. Okay. Anyway, I have an hour and a half to get this done before I have to go to work, because I work to make that money make purse, you know? Let's go. Do I want to listen to music while I'm doing this? I don't think so. I think I'll entertain myself. Well, I don't know where I'm going. Okay. Sure. I want to start with BTS because the reason why I got this one was specifically for BTS and NCT, because this does not fit in here, right? This does not fit in here. You know what else doesn't fit in here? This doesn't fit in here. Like a sticker. Okay, so I don't know how I want to organize this. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna figure this out. Okay. Okay. The ones that I have the most albums for are BTS, Stray Kids, and NCT as a whole. So I guess we start with BTS, because BTS, I have a lot of not album things for BTS. So these 3 might be BTS. I'm going to be talking a lot during this, so if you're here to see in general, you're going to have a lot of talking to go through. Okay. I don't know how I want to do this either. Like, do I want to tell you when I got everything? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna go through a little backstory with each group and stuff. So just bear with me. Okay. I have to bear with myself, you have to bear with me. Okay? BTS. We're starting now, okay? I'm gonna move you so that you can see me putting it in. Putting the K-pop on the shelf. But this is before we do anything, okay? This is where I can now listen to music, because I'm gonna do a voiceover on y'all's record while I'm doing this, yeah? Starting the voiceovers with BTS, this is going to be the longest voiceover clip because I have the most items for BTS, which are albums, light sticks, Funkos, and other items. In total, I have 39 albums for BTS, 10 being group and 29 being solo albums. At the time, I didn't know a lot about the Korean military, nor did I know that Jin had just enlisted when I got into BTS, which was December of 2022. I also don't think I knew until February of 2023 either. So my first BTS not solo album was a mix, actually, because I bought multiple in the same purchase. This was in June of 2023 when I went to California for VidCon. I had bought 2 Clover School, School of Affair, Oh Are You Late 2, Dark and Wild, and the compact version of Proof. My first ever K-pop album purchase was Yoongi's D-Day, but I physically had Jimin's Face first because I had bought Yoongi's on pre-order. Next week, on the 26th of March, I will be seeing Hobie live, which I didn't think was going to be a thing at all. I didn't see Yoongi live, like in person, unfortunately, but I do hope one day that I get to see all 7 of them. So for the rest of the album collections, I will try to share when I got into the group, if I've seen them live and or upcoming concerts, how many albums for the group I have, and my bias and biases for each group. Also, I mentioned upcoming concerts because it is confirmed, like tickets are bought for 9. I do also have each type of the light stick, as you will see later, which I got versions 1, 2, and 3 off of Mercari, where I also got some of my older albums, especially group to group. Anyway, I will now end this clip with my bias for BTS, which is Namjoon, who is my ult in the collection of K-pop biases, ult biases that I have. Namjoon was the first. I have a couple which I will name during this as well. What the fuck am I gonna do when I get more? Like, this is already pretty full. What the fuck am I gonna do when I get more? I can't be cute. What am I gonna do? I do have all of the Butter and Proof Funko Pops. I am missing Jimin, I cannot remember, because I accidentally left him at my family's house in Florida, so I'm missing one of them. And then the Tamagotchi V character, which I think is really, really cute. I also have 3 Tamagotchis, which I should display. I have BTS. Oh, the light sticks, hold on. Where are they? Where are you? Where? Special edition that I'm taking to Hobie's concert, right? This year, version 2, version 3, we'll put there, version 1. It isn't here, it's just in the box. And in the bag. And I'm not taking it home. And I have none of the other boxes due to water damage. Woo! I also have this. I don't know where to put him. BTS. I still have wrong person, right place to put here. I don't know how I'm gonna display that at this current moment. Also, it is September. No. I wish it was September that I fucking put these up, because that's when I got this apartment. Anyways, it is January 30th of 2025, and I haven't put. I think BTS was the only thing set up for, not completely, but like all the albums are here. Only everything else is still here. And now that I'm waiting to get ready to go to the airport to go to California for ESPA and Disneyland, because I haven't been to Disneyland, I'm continuing to do this. So now, this will be hopefully finished before I leave. I have 2 hours to get this done. So let's continue. Next group, which I have no clue. Next, for this one, I have decided. Obviously, you can see that those are the NCT Dream light stick boxes. That's gonna be NCT. We're not working on NCT first. Stray Kids, which I have 1 light stick, but I get to use it this year twice. Also, if any of y'all want a Lino paper case and are with probably inclusions besides the PCs, I will be going to the Arlington and the Atlanta show. For Stray Kids, I was introduced to by my For You page on TikTok, mostly of Hyunjin and Felix, which Felix is my first bias, but I will be loyal to my ult bias, Mr. Bangchan. He's another one of my ults, obviously. I just said that. In total, I do have 32 Stray Kids album versions,
My first Stray Kids albums were some of my 5-star albums as I got them on pre-order. I also got my version 2 light stick on pre-order, which is not worth it because it was double the price for no pobs. So, as I mentioned, I will be seeing Stray Kids live. I will be seeing them 3 times in June, which is the 6th, the 7th, and the 10th, because I will be going to both Arlington Days and the Atlanta stop. I promise I am not obsessive. I'm just going with different people. I would have seen them in March of 2023, but I already missed too many school days that I had to have an attendance contract in order to graduate. It wasn't that I wasn't good in school. I got A's and B's, you know? But teachers would just mark me absent even if I was there. And for that in total, I missed like 19 days of school, which made me on the verge of credit denial. So, anyway. And that is all of Stray Kids. I'm pretty sure. I think so. You have this, and then I need the light stick. They're a little smushed in there, but that works quite well. And then we have the light stick, and that's it. So with NCT, I was brought into it as a joke when I actually liked their music. I started listening in January of 2023. I'm gonna do it unit by unit, but my first overall NCT album, what I didn't even buy, it was a freebie for buying a bunch of other albums, and it was the Ayo Se Mini of Johnny. My bias for 127 is Doyoung, but I love, and I truly mean I love Sticker. It's like one of my favorite NCT 127 songs. But I love my boy Doyoung. And then in total, I have 18 NCT 127 album versions. For NCT Dream, my bias, who is another alt, is Renjun. I have in total 9 NCT Dream albums. I don't have any Wavy albums, but I do have the 2023 Seasons Greeting. I am OT6 for Wavy because I cannot physically choose one, or I will cry. I don't have any albums for Dojojung or NCT Wish, but I am a Seon and Rikyu bias. And lastly, for NCT U, I have 11 albums and 6 albums for solos, which are for Taeyong and Ten. So in total, I have 44 album versions for all of NCT, which makes it my largest album collection. I have seen NCT Dream and 127 live, and I will have seen all of the units, not members, which is sad, but I will have seen all of the units by May of this year because of SM Town. NCT 127 was also my first experience for soundcheck at the San Antonio show, which if you saw a chicken costume, that was me. Anyways, this is editing savvy. I am freaking out because today was really busy at work today. But after we had a rush and stuff, I checked my phone and B had messaged me that NCT 127 and fucking Kai have been added to SM Town. So I am gonna see 127 live again, and I'm gonna be in a chicken costume again, and I am freaking out. Anyway, back. And that's all of NCT. I have to figure out how to do this so that I can put the light stick here as well. And then I'll probably get an NCT 127 light stick. I have to figure out how to put this here. Unless I just put it up here. I'll definitely have to figure out how to store this because Ten's album is far out here. Okay, love this right now. Now that's all of NCT with NCT Dream, NCT 127, Wavy for their solos, and then NCT U. This is what we have left, which I'm thinking right here we have 17, which is all of these in a row. And then plan is to do album, right? For everything else that we have. With 17, I have been listening since March of 2023. My first album was the FML and Second Wind Weverse versions. I have 29 17 albums and the singular Busoksoon album. My biases, who are also alts, are Wonwoo and Seungkwan, which I cried when I saw Wonwoo's military announcement, which I'm such a crybaby. Speaking of crying, I have seen 17 live in October/November. I so cried. On a happier note, I am excited for the upcoming unit albums because I'm sure it won't be the last, but I also hope it doesn't follow a pattern of military enlistments because, Jonghyun was the first and then Wonwoo's gonna go in April, and they both had the first unit album with this man, so I hope it doesn't follow a pattern. Anyway, that's
That's so fun that fits. And now time to put these in the back. I should have done that first, huh? And there is just like an empty spot back there, which it's not going to be filled for currently. But this is how I'll have, this is how I'll have, this is how I'll have, this is how I will have 17 displayed. Now we go on to the smaller groups. I like how I say smaller groups, but besides carrot versions, like if I actually counted like just the regular versions, I would have more ENHYPEN albums than 17. So for this, it's going to be ATEEZ, boy groups, ENHYPEN, TXT, girl groups, P1 Harmony. And let's get started. I got into ATEEZ in January 2023. I only have 7 albums and the version 2 Lightstick. My first album was The World Episode 2 Outlaw Ones. I saw them live in July of 2024 and I really want to see them again, especially Gorilla and Wonderland. My biases are Hongjoong and Yunho is an alt. So that's ATEEZ and now we'll have ENHYPEN. I got into ENHYPEN in September of 2023. I have 21 album versions. My first albums was a bundle from Macari, which was the Dimension, Answer, all Manifesto versions, and the full and new versions of Dark Blood. I saw ENHYPEN live in October of 2023, which was my first concert in Texas and my first time traveling to another state alone. My biases for ENHYPEN are Jungwon and Heesung. Now, I see a problem of, I have this. Where the fuck am I gonna put the light stick? That works for now. Oh wait, idiot. Perfect. Now that's ENHYPEN. And now we'll move on to TXT. I have listened to TXT since January 2023 and I got to see them live later that May as my first concert, like ever, not even just K-pop. My first concert. I was also able to see them live again in May of 2024, which I also got a speeding ticket on the way home. It was $200. My first albums were the Minnesota 2 Thursday's Child versions, which I have the big ass posters that come with them. My biases for TXT are Subin and Yeonjun, but Yeonjun, whoa, Subin is an alt. Now I have both version 1 and version 2 of the light sticks, and now TXT is complete with the light sticks there. Now we will move on to P1 Harmony, which is just simple. For P1 Harmony, I am more into the content than their music because they are funny as hell. I got into them in April of 2023. I also saw them live in May of 2024. My first albums were the all-in versions. And that's P1. I don't have a lot of P1, but I like P1 a lot. Now, time for the girl groups and boy groups, which are going down in this one, and that middle one. I'm not the biggest into girl groups. However, I really love their music. I have been to 3 concerts, ITZY, Dreamcatcher, and aespa. Dreamcatcher was my first concert in Florida, and aespa was my first concert in California. I do have a signed Kepler album, which is Machiedo's signature. My biases for the groups that I have mentioned and have are Bujin for ITZY, Seon for Dreamcatcher, Ningning for aespa, Zhaoting for Kepler, Soyeon for G-Idol, and Dahyun for Twice. Alright, now that's the girl groups, which we don't have ITZY albums, but we do have an ITZY light stick. That's that, and then we have the boy groups. For the boys, I saw them live, and I really got into their music in June of 2024. I was acquainted with the group, like I knew about them, I just didn't stan them until June. It was also the first concert that I had VIP for. For the rest of the groups on my shelf, I am pre-debut stands for. I will also be seeing Zikers and Rise live by May of this year. I also have an Excenary Heroes light stick that I just didn't put up in this video, but it is on the shelf now. My biases for the groups mentioned are Sangyeon and Jacob for the boys, Yechen for Zikers, Sunghan and Sungchan for Rise, Hanbin Jiyoung and Matthew for ZB1, and then Goodneil for XH. Alright, and now that's all the boy groups. Okay, that's all of my albums. Ta-da! Yippee! Okay, the only other things that I have is you turn around and you see this mess. Extras that fell. And then my photo card albums, or photo card binders, which that's not that, but all of these down here, or, oh my god, all of these here, which I may or may not put with their respective group or groups. Oh, that's a 17 magazine. That's staying there for a little bit. But yeah, that's all. Wow. It just took me September, October, November, December, January. And one day from February.
So 5 to 6 months almost to put away my K-pop albums. And now I can put my TV. I also built my couch. If you didn't see that. I did that before doing this, which I wanted to do this first and then build my couch, but that didn't happen. Now I can put my TV up here. Hold on. Oh, I also have this. Which does not really fit in nice. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to put this up. I'm also supposed to have a Wanu. No, I'm also supposed to have a 17 one, but I have no clue where that is. Let me put my TV up. I should have expected that. My TV, which is taller than me now. Thank you for joining today's video. If you like K-pop or videos like this, make sure to subscribe and give this video a like. I will now pack for Espa, and you can see me. I don't like that very much. I also post vlogs, videos like this, and then fun videos. And now I'm just gonna edit, and hopefully I will be able to collect more albums, which I do have album unboxings to post about all of these albums, all of the albums, which I will be uploading hopefully soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.